Thinking about our power of reading books, can you tell me some of the names of the books that we have read, Charlotte?
We've read stuff like Moon Man and P-Boy and Oliver and the Seaweeds, but they're all fiction. But we have also read non-fiction books such as Pebble in My Pocket.
So which was your favourite book and why, Jacob?
My favourite book was Firebird because the title doesn't give anything away, and at the end of the story something happens you wouldn't have expected to happen.
Jacob, can you read the last paragraph on page 13? And girls, I want you to listen to Jacob read and see if there are any words that might be a bit tricky and we might need to use a dictionary to find out what they mean. Okay?
His ears were made of real rabbit fur, and beneath the fur there were strong, bendable wires which allowed the ears to be arranged into poses that reflected the rabbit's mood. Jaunty, tired, full of ennui. His tail, too, was made of real rabbit fur and was fluffy and soft and well-shaped.
My tricky word was jaunty. Jaunty means lively and cheerful.
My tricky word was ennui. Ennui means when you're full of boredom.
Okay, Charlotte, who was Edward Tulane? Can you use some adjectives to describe his character for me, please?
He was a tiny rabbit and he was elegant because he had a wardrobe full of fancy silk clothes.
Samaya, can you describe Edward Tulane's character for me, please?
Edward Tulane was quite vain because he liked to look at himself in the mirror, and he had selective hearing, which means that he only hears what he wants to hear.
Okay, Jacob, what was Edward Tulane's relationship like with the other characters in the story?
Edward's relationship with the other characters wasn't very strong because he thought all of the grown-ups behaved in a condescending manner to him. He thought all of the grown-ups behaved like this except Pellegrina. She had bought him all of the nice outfits, so he didn't listen to them.
Okay, so what does it mean when the author uses the phrase, "In all, Edward Tulane felt himself to be an exceptional specimen"?
It means that he thinks that he's one of a kind and there's no one in the world anything like him.
Jacob, what do you think Edward's favourite season was and why?
I think Edward's favourite season was winter because I think that the windows of the house go darker in winter, so we know he's vain, so he can look at himself and look how elegant he is.
So imagine you are Edward Tulane now, all three of you, and I want you to have a think and discuss some of the things that life was like for you living on Egypt Street. So think about the story that we've read so far.
I would mostly be grateful because they're treating me like a human when that's not what I am.
Okay.
I would be really happy because I have all these nice clothes and a big, beautiful house in America.
I would be overjoyed with my care because I have lots of different outfits. People treat me like a proper human, and everyone thinks that I am somebody proper, and they talk to me like I am a proper human.
Okay, we've read 2 chapters so far of the story. I want you to predict what's going to happen next. So the last bit we read was, on Evelyn's 11th birthday, the word ship was mentioned. So I want you to think what your prediction's going to be, and then I want you to give me reasons why you think your prediction's going to be that. So I'm going to start with Jacob.
My prediction is Abilene, her mother, her father, Pellegrina and Edward go on a ship to Africa, but when they're about halfway through their journey, the ship sinks, and there's only Abilene and her family left. And when she gets back to the surface to look for Edward, Edward isn't there, he's gone, and that's where Edward's miraculous journey starts. Wednesday. I guess Dad must have been pretty happy with himself for making me go outside yesterday, because he did it again today. It's getting really annoying having to go all the way up to Rowley's every time I want to play a video game. There's this weird kid named Fregley who lives halfway between my house and Rowley's, and Fregley is always hanging out in his front yard, so it's pretty hard to avoid him. Want to see my secret Freckle? No thanks.
Jo didn't come to bed till very late that night, and then she didn't sleep for ages. She tried not to toss and turn, but whenever I woke up I knew immediately she was still awake, lying stiff and still, staring up at our crimson ceiling. Only it didn't look red at night, it was black in the dark. I woke up very early, long before the alarm. At least the ceiling was dimly red now. Jo was properly asleep at last, her hair sticking up, her mouth slightly open. She had one hand near her face, clenched in a fist. I propped myself on one elbow, watching her for a bit, and then I slid out of bed. Jo wouldn't let me stick any more posters or magazines in the living room. We've got a proper plump lady cuddling her daughter with a white frame to match the walls.